Bonjour. Oh, that's a bit loud. Damn, let's turn that down. Buongiorno. Hola. What's up, people? How are we doing? What's up, Marie? How you doing? Bonjour. So you join me where I'm about to the kind folks over at Paperlike have sent me out another screen protector because it's been a while since the last time I had one. So yeah, we're gonna pop that on first, and then we're gonna do some drawing because I want to do like a little design for Instagram just to show the 30k sort of thing. So we're gonna install this first and then get drawing. What's up, Jonathan? How you doing? Their packaging is sick, by the way. I'm not going to flip it over for obvious reasons, but their packaging is sick. Let's slide this out. Oh, yeah. Get this bad boy out of here. Ooh, yeah. I keep forgetting that you get 2 in the pack, like every time. Should we zoom out a little bit? Get an idea for everything that's going on while I do it. Right, let's get the old one off. Well, actually, should we open the other one up first? What's up, Makey? And Jonathan says, doing good. Coming at you from Houston, Texas. International, baby. I guess I have most of my supporters are from the States. Most of them. I think it's about 30% on Instagram. Yeah, not Instagram, YouTube. Right, let's get one of these bad boys on. Hopefully they sent us the right one. I don't doubt that they would have. I've had mine on here for so long, I've actually forgotten what it feels like when you first put one on. This awesome little bit of packaging. I love how they do this as well. They get like people's artwork and print it out, and I think they change this like every few months, I think. So if you tag Paperlike, there's a chance that they may ask you every time you make a design to be part of the guide that gets sent out to everyone. Let's move that out of the way. And Elizabeth is from Phoenix, Arizona. Makey is from the Netherlands. I'm off to Amsterdam actually at the end of this month. It's gonna be pretty cool. I love Amsterdam. I've been there loads of times. Well, loads of times, a couple of times, 2, 3. It's beautiful. We walked like 20k in one day, just walking around the city. It's beautiful, beautiful. Oh, look at this nice little cloth. Can you see that? The little paper like embossed on that? That looks sick. You live close to Amsterdam, gotcha. Is it hot there yet? Well, here in the UK, it's not hot here. I mean, today it's cold, a little bit cold. Right, how do we do this again? Oh, we've got some Paperlike stickers. Maybe we could pop one on the sketchboard over here or something. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. From memory. The sticky side goes down first. Peel this side off. I'm gonna have to do it upside down as well. Cool. So can you even see? Oh, whoa! Did you see that? There. Look how sort of scratched up this one's got. So not like a normal screen protector. Your Paperlikes, if you've never had one before, they do take a little bit of damage, but because there's like a rougher surface on the top, so they do tend to take a little bit of damage. But you can see like all the sort of pen strokes on the screen. Obviously, loads of sort of hand gunk, I guess, grease and whatnot on the screen. But look at all those scratches. Right, let's get this bad boy off. Let's get a new one on. I remember when the first time I had a Paperlike, I was like, this feels awesome. The lights there. So let's get this one off. I'm worried I might get some hair on this. So I have two dogs that are molting like crazy. So oh, here we go. Some ASMR for this bit. We peel this off nice and to the microphone. Welcome. So yeah, looks like it definitely needs a clean on the outside. Cool. Right, let's get this cleaned off. Look at that reflection now. Dang. What's up, Milo? Hope I enjoy my Amsterdam trip. God, I can't talk. It's because I'm multitasking, you know. Being a guy, it's pretty tricky. We do struggle. But yeah, going to Amsterdam at the end of the month, which is gonna be cool for a stag do. I know I've only just told you I've just been on one, but I've got a lot of friends in the group that we're all getting engaged and whatnot at the same time. So, what's up, Milo? Triple digits. Jesus. Lucky to get double. What's up, Lawrence? Hey Joel, I'm currently working on your space paper cutout tutorial. Oh, awesome. And had to take a break to watch this. Oh, I appreciate you dropping in, my friend. Come and say hello. If you're interested, we do these live streams every Wednesday. Typical sort of time, around this sort of time. Just need to get rid around the edges here, because looking at it, there's quite a bit of just gunk that collects around the outside. So clean this up real good before we put the new one on. You were the one who donated 99 Canadian cents. Was that on the video, Lawrence, or was that in a previous stream from what I remember from memory? Because I actually unlocked the what's it called, super thanks recently. So if you ever really love a tutorial and you're feeling super generous, you can always drop a super thanks now underneath a video. So just like a super chat does on like a live stream, it drops a highlighted comment in the comment section of the video, and you can generously donate should you ever want to. Am I crazy, or is this like got another? This has got really mucky under here. It was the previous stream. I thought it was. What's up, Troy? How you doing? Hope you're well too, my friend. Clean this about a bit, aren't we? I'm not too fussed if we don't get one bang on today, but I can always do the second one another day. Gonna have to think about doing this a little bit more often. Yeah, Marie, I've seen people like come up with like little, like, not to get too like, I don't know, strategic with them, but people I've seen like come up with like different ideas on how to use them and stuff. And I think in future it's something I'll mention in videos, but it's not something I'm going to push, you know, of course. It obviously comes down to the user, obviously, but I think it's a really good way for people that don't live stream, you know, like I'm very lucky, and you are too, that you like to live stream. So, you know, people do have the option if they want to, you know, to do that. But when you're not a live streamer, there's no real way otherwise other than ad revenue, I guess, to grow a channel, and of course external stuff as well. My screen's got really mucky here. Lawrence, I was going to join the Discord because why not? And the invite says invalid. Oh, really? Have you gone to... If you go to joelcreate.co.uk, there should be a link on there for you. So joelcreate.co.uk. Should be a link on there. Always live. Okay, I think we're just about clean and tidy. I need to like pop it in here so I don't move it. I actually could not ever imagine though anymore drawing straight on the glass. I remember when I first got the iPad and drawing on it. It's so slippy. Super slippy. By the way, if you're interested in getting your own Paperlike, there is a link in the description down below. So you can go ahead and head off to the Patreon, the Paperlike website. See what I mean? It's a real struggle for us guys. What did you say there? If you super like this video, then send me a super thanks. Oh, I'm with you. It's like what test? I'm with you. I thought we were coming up with a little sort of money making scheme between us then, Marie, and if we money launder and just shifting money between our accounts. Something like that. Okay. And then we've got this de-duster little tab here. This one. And you can just tap this on the screen and get rid of even more. Again, I have two dogs that are molting, so this would be interesting if I've got like a hair that just falls off my arm at the wrong moment and boom, straight onto the screen under the screen protector. Turn that off for a sec. Can't see the screen. Oh, it does look clean though. It looks nice and clean. Okay, let's put this bad boy back down. We might come back and use that in a second. And then you've got these guide stickers. So we'll grab one of the protectors and we'll grab the guide sticker as well. Pop a guide sticker on the side of the iPad, so something say like here, around the back, just up the side. It'd be easier if I actually didn't do this in the sketchboard. I can't be asked to move it because it's always in the perfect time. Let's then pop this one around here. Stick this bad boy on the side. Shall I move the mic a little bit closer just in case there is any naughty ASMR for you? Yeah, you missed the ASMR of peeling off the last one. I'll answer your question, Lawrence, in just 2 seconds. Let's just try and get this on so I can actually get some drawing done today on stream. Right. Oh, we get to peel one side. So this is the sticky side, and it's got to go at the top there. But this is already covered in hair. This is what I'm talking about. The dogs have already had their way with this, and I've only just got it out of the packet. Right. Whoa. We do not want to balls this one up. Okay, so this goes down. You got to align it with your camera and all the way around, and then you use the guide stickers just to pop it securely and hold the position. That looks good to me. We'll peel this over the side, pop this over the side, and pop this over the side. And I hope I've done it in the right order. I think I have. Let's do that, like that. flip this bad boy over. Check the iPad again. Let's get some of this dust off it. Look how much dust has just come down on this. This is a joke. Let's have a look. Can't see too much more. Can you hear that? Do you want me to turn off the music so you can hear that or not? I know some people really love ASMR stuff, so I'm gonna just use the lights here just to see if there's any little bits, because in the last one I installed, I left the tiniest little dot and it annoyed me. Well, I've had it on for about a year, so I get it right this time. Let's peel this one off. Let me mute that music for a second. Right, here we go. So we're gonna peel this one off. I've just noticed there isn't a squidge card or anything. Have I got anything? Maybe use the top of my phone case, maybe. It's a bit too grippy, that. I guess I'll just use this. Out you go. Couple of bubbles here to get rid of, isn't there? What's up, Claire? I'll put the music back on. Off fire. That ASMR of that peel. Everybody loves a good peel. It's got filthy, right messy. I usually have one of those just sort of hanging around. You need a new one as well, Claire? Yeah. I was lucky enough to get an email from them the other day, and they were kind enough to send me another one, so I thought, this is perfect. I have one? Oh, I do have one. Oh no, I don't. Let's just try and get this big one out of the way first. Oh, it's making a hell of a noise. Okay. Just hear it about to pop into the side. I just literally heard it just straight out the side there. Oh, I've definitely left one or two there. But to be fair, the actual installation is super easy. Just if you decide to let it flop down like I just did. there. A few little bumps in there. Milo, you're absolutely bang on. And then having to do it live as well, which is also... Well, there's a lot less swearing, isn't there? If you do it live and in front of people, you got to keep your head. That's the great thing though with the Paperlikes, is the fact that they send you two. So just in case you really balls one up, you've got an extra one in the packet. And then of course, you know, it should last you a little bit longer as well, having two. What are we up to here? We've got a few little ones here, but they're not getting stuck, so that's the good thing. They're not stuck on like a piece of lint. Nearly there. A couple in here, randomly in the center. Should probably turn the iPad off, really. Lawrence, give me 2 seconds, dude. I haven't forgotten your question. Just want to get this on so I can get into some drawing. So we're almost there. I look at this screen every day, so I just want to make sure I get these bubbles out. Only a couple left. Turns out using my nail was the trick all along. Ooh, I think that's it. Push that one out the edge, push that one out the edge. And then I think, from memory, we're meant to take off the little stickers that go around the side. I've noticed they've changed it ever so slightly. Because I don't know if you can see, but on the actual film, you see that? There's like a little grid of icons on there. So they've changed that from the last time I had the first one. To be fair, I think I should have taken these off once it had gone down. One off. Two off. Love miscreated ring, by the way, Joel. Very strange. Yeah, for sure. Did you go back and watch the live stream, did you? Last week? That was last week, wasn't it? Okay, and then I believe we'll just peel off the top coat here. Hopefully not introducing any bubbles. I did. Just push that out there. Again, you're very welcome. And then we've got another. Oh, lovely. Oh, and it's got the texture back on it already, obviously. But you can feel how much of a difference this feels like compared to, I mean, you can't, I can, obviously. But the difference between this one and the last one I had. Again, the last one, I feel like eventually I just scratched all the texture of the Paperlike off. Oh, it's lush. Lush to have a brand new one on. Awesome. Right, let's go to this camera a second. Put that in here. Awesome, and let's go to Procreate. And now we are. We're back in. Right, let's have a look. So, Lauren, sorry, your question was, do you use a reference when you do drawing tutorials? Where do you find the inspiration? So first part of that is, do I use a reference? Now, I use my own reference in a sense, because every tutorial I obviously create something in my spare time. It's not done on the fly sort of thing. So I will, of course, draw a design that I like. Then I'll probably maybe draw it another 2 times maybe, just to simplify it, minimize it. I'll simplify it, make it a bit more minimalistic in certain areas in terms of the process and understanding how quickly I can get from A to B. And so then after that, it's then a matter of, drawing it out again. So I use my own Procreate canvas as a reference. And then the first part of that is, how do I then find my inspiration? So there's loads of websites out there that you can use inspiration, like Dribble. There's Dribble, there's Pinterest, there's all sorts of stuff. So you can use all those sorts of websites. You can also use like photography. I always use photography quite a bit, especially for things such as like landscapes and stuff like that. Photography, somebody has made a wonderful photo, taken a wonderful photo, you can then go ahead and create that as a canvas. So that kind of answers your question there in terms of like where it comes from and whatnot. But in my mind, I've usually got an idea. And do you know what? Back in the day, I used to hear people say, when I first started doing this, what do you people would say, oh no, I just get inspiration, I'll see something out and about, and it gives me inspiration. But genuinely, at one point, I just couldn't understand what they were referring to. But then over time, I eventually clocked that that is actually true. You do see something in real life and then think, okay, that's a good idea, and I could use that by doing this, this, and this. And because you've already, in your mind, you've got lots of processes that you can now remember to go through on Procreate. You can switch it up so into your own style. So you see something you like and go, right, I know how I could convert that into X, Y, and Z. So it's just something a bit like that. But so that kind of answers your question there in terms of inspiration. But I think I've slowly understood as well over time that you start to build up your own style. Like you have things that you like to do, more so than others, and that's why your content creators have different styles. I like to do a lot of space stuff, neon stuff. I like my landscapes though, in comparison over on Patreon. You can see some of them literally underneath my camera there. But otherwise, your other creators will do a lot of similar stuff. You've got your James Julias who do like these wonderful sunset scenes with the clouds and rolling hills. I think Tati Works is very she's very texture based. A lot of her designs have like these wonderful textures on them and brushes and stuff. So, but what I'm getting at is, again, you convert things you see in real life into your own style, and you see things that relate to your style because they're the things that stand out. So I'll see maybe like a sign outside a shop and go, oh, that's a cool idea. I know how you could convert that into something maybe like a neon version or something like that. So yeah, that'll answer that one, I think. Can I even hear this music? The song stopped. Cool. So today, because we hit 30k over on Instagram, I want to do like a retro sign. So I've already this Paperlike just feels so good. I've already mocked up like a sign of what I want to do, and so I'm going to create this sort of retro-y sort of sign. 30, and then we'll have 1,000 in the small lights, Instagram on its own in the center, and then followers in like a neon arrow. I love these retro signs, they always look so cool. So I think the first thing to do is actually start to create the shapes and the fonts, etc. I've got a couple of extra things I need, such as the Instagram logo, and then in my design I've also sort of specified with little labels here like what colors I'm going to use for certain bits. So if you subscribe to both Tati and James, you've got a wonderful collect. Obviously, there's Flo Lawrence as well. Zyra awesome as well. Zyra Dave Reed is awesome. Guys, there's probably loads of people I'm forgetting, so if you can think of people, please drop them in, but I've got a terrible memory. So I'm going to group all of this together, and then I'm going to create a new group for the actual design, so I can use that as a guide for my layout. And then I've also created a grid. I don't know if you can see that on the screen. You can just about see a grid line. It's just a drawing guide, which will just help me with my layout. You can see there, if I increase the opacity up, you can get an idea for the grid and just roughly where I want to lay things. So putting a brand new one on compared to my previous Paperlike, it's so grippy. It's so grippy. Like, it feels like my pen's sort of moving a bit slower. Okay, cool. Let's first of all create a few different groups in here. So this group here will be 30. Also, one thing I would try and recommend to a few people lately is numbering or naming your layers. It's like naming them will help so much in the long run with where you are in your design. Nice. Lots of ideas there in the chat for different people to follow. Cool. Right, so 30, we're going to do at the top here. So let's get the correct color. I've got a few colors here that I've already sort of popped together, but we'll see how it goes. I think the top camera is just a little bit behind, so just bear with it. It's catching up. So let's go 30. Yeah, 30,000 Instagram followers. How cool is that? That's kind of what I want. A nice sign sort of style like that. I'll see what else I've got. I've already had like lots of these sort of retro style fonts already on here, so I should definitely have something that accommodates nicely for this style. It's always, even though you find one that you think is going to be it, it's always good to just check the rest of them just in case. Okay, cool. Let's go back up. And I think it was this one. 30k is just the beginning, Jar. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Claire. I appreciate that comment a lot. Oh, and Upsplash as well. Upsplash is a great website for that, for a little bit of inspiration. So we're going to put 30 here. I want to have a good size. This is nice because the way the Y drops down here, it's going to nicely sort of surround the 1000, which is going to sit in these little lights here. So I think I'm going to place it like there. It's a good guide. And then Instagram, we can grab the Instagram logo, pop that, say here for a second. Just reduce this down in size, rotate that round just a smidge to something, I don't know, maybe like that for a sec. We'll leave it. We're going to mess with the whole layout of things as we go. Knew you'd be massive when I found you that while ago. Didn't I comment on your video though, Claire, or your post on Instagram? Wasn't it that way around? So just for a little while, I'm going to remove that because that's a bit annoying. Let's then edit this text, and I want to change this to like something like this, and change the font or change the wording. Because I used to comment on everybody's stuff back in the day. I used to really, I guess, pest in a sense. I would go, and this is like things you have to do in the beginning. You have to put yourself out there. Nobody knows who you are yet. Like nobody knows who you are, so you have to put yourself out there. And I would go and search for like say Tatty Works and Flow on Instagram, and just not message but comment on everybody's like images who completed them, and be like, yo, I do my own, by the way, if you're interested. I think, was that for Marie as well? I can't really remember, to be honest. So we're going to put 1,000 here now. Yeah, that I know my circles in the background there are off in terms of how many, but that's a rough guide. And then let's lower that down a smidge. Oh, I'll tell you what, I've forgotten to grab the Instagram text logo. Two seconds, let me just grab that. The fish one was the first one I see. Fish one was first ones I see. It was so different. Ah, thanks. Still good. It's so awesome to hear people still, like, you know, the way they talk about older tutorials, especially when I see people still do them now. Like, I love that. I love seeing people go back and redo them. Instagram. And then in here, we'll go to this empty layer here, 3 fingers, and paste. Lower that down. We're going to pop Instagram in there. I'm going to make it a bit bigger. Well, no, we'll make it the correct size for now. That'll do. We can get rid of that layer in there. And Marie, in a Facebook group, you commented on a post I like. Oh, awesome. And Laurie, my first tutorial was, I saw from you, was the hand triangle thing. Oh, right. So that's a brand new one. That's cool. And then followers. Oh, actually, let's delete that. Let's duplicate that one. I'm just going to rename this group as well so I can see it. Let's call that guide. That's just resources, so that's fine. And this one should be followers. It's very cool to think about all the steps and how far it's all come. Very, very cool. And so this one, I want like a neon look to it, of course. You know me, it's always about it. Honest, that needs to be followers. Now I'm thinking like a bold font, because if we go to, say, the layer option, change that to outline, we'll have a nice font, you know, ready to go with the outline already done. So, oh, guys, yeah, thank you. I just realized you can't even see what I'm doing. Right, so we've got the fonts somewhat in place. Let's then start to lower the opacity down of the guides and just start cracking on. So they were just quick and easy scribbles to start with. Probably remove that. So I think I'll start, because I think it's going to be sort of the main cheese in the center in the Instagram section. So we'll create a new layer and we'll drag it underneath. And then for Instagram, we're going to go ahead. What's up, Jay? Just about got there. Just about got there. Wait, sorry, I had a reference image. That's the ticket, I think. Yeah, I do. See, that one uses this one, so we'll use this color. So first step then is to probably create the frame around here. So if we use the rounded monoline brush at a good size, we can just create a frame of sort. Like this, go point to point, so they nicely line up to each other. And then we'll grab the point here, go to there, lining that up nicely, and that's our frame around that. It's already starting to come together in terms of the layout, so I'm happy with that. I'm very good, Jay. How are you doing? Very, very good. Thanks for asking. I think we could actually probably get away with duplicating that and uniforming that down and just thickening that up a little bit, making the frame a little bigger, so I've got some more space to work with in a second, and maybe even freeform that down a little bit, make that a little bit more even all the way around. Looking good. And then create a new layer, reference this layer, and then go to say white here and just drag and drop it into that space. In a second, I'm going to flip the design to the, it's going to have a black background. So, but for now it's just set up as white. And of course we got the, yeah, I knew that frame was meant to be blue. I've just looked at my notes, sorry. Once we add all the light in, that's when I'll flip it around. That's meant to be blue, and then these are meant to be white. So let's do that one. Let's then move to thousands a second. And go into there. And let's go to the monoline brush, make it nice and small. Let's grab like a gray, and let's draw a circle around a letter. So we've got a nice border. Just move that across each letter. And I think we only want to do the work once. We don't want to do it multiple times. So we'll zoom in. We'll use this as a reference now. Create a new layer above. I think in a second I'm actually going to have to change the background to white. So I can't really see the colors that I'm working with. Lawrence, just finished my drawing / celebration for 30k. Oh, awesome. Be sure to drop me a message on Instagram. See what you're up to. Screw that together, duplicate it, and then move that across. So it's a bit too close at the minute. You see, we're going to end up touching each one. So potentially we just need to go back, uniform this down a smidge. Keep that like so. Then duplicate it and move it across. And now we shouldn't get any contact either side. You've been good, you've been busy. What have you been up to? What have you been up to, Jay? Let's move this across. So I'm going to move it across for a second, even though I mentioned we don't want to do the work multiple times, because I'll do one bulb when we come to it, and then duplicate it again across. But for now, we'll just set up the entire piece. I'm hoping this bulb isn't about to touch the blue sign. I think it's going to get very close. Ooh. No, we're good. We're good. Nice. So there's that part done. And then there's like a big sort of neon arrow that points down here. So I'm going to collapse that down. Go to followers, and we're going to move this above there, and probably move followers underneath the main Instagram sign in the middle. And then let's start to draw this in. Pink neon we're going with. So I'm going to grab this color to start with. Grab the monoline. And then what should we do here? Should I just get it to run from like... It always feels like it's got to go from a point, but it doesn't actually with this style. So let's draw a straight line up from this, then move that across. And I've done that so that the arrow I'm about to create at least matches up to this style. So there's a little bit of sort of balancing going on. Cool, something like that. And then do I go for like a swooping line or a rounded line, or go pointy? Let's see what pointy looks like for a second. I'll tell you what we'll do. This is going to end up being a bit of a botch job for a second until we get back in here and refine everything. I'm going to use the same curvature of this so it matches up nicely. Claire, what's up with you? How you doing? What's new with you? Anything cool? This edit shape, weirdly, is the first time I've started actually using it, and I saw it on my, what did I call it? Create a spotlight over on Instagram. On Patreon this morning. On Kiki's tutorial, I've never bothered using the edit tool. And I saw her using it, I was like, you know what, that's actually pretty useful. So that is exactly why I always say, even if you are a veteran of Procreate, still doing tutorials can always teach you something or make you think about using a tool in a certain way. What have I done here with the layers? Whoa. Just waiting for your pirate. For reference, Claire thought I looked like Johnny Depp but I said if I was to maybe take off what very little I have on the sides of my cheeks, then maybe. But we then got into a bit of a discussion on it on Discord. Oh, your computer broke down a couple of days ago, weeks ago, so I've been dealing with that. My iPad has been pulling double duty. The iPad's so versatile, it can get you through anything. Awesome. I like how it's starting to already get a bit staggered, which looks pretty cool. I think potentially you could move that arrow and separate it, but we won't for a minute. Some guy liner, that was it. Right, and then followers, I think we're gonna have to distort this now. We need to pop it in here. I think we'll leave it like that for a sec. a bit umming and ahhing about this arrow. I feel like maybe it could do with it being like one big swoop. That's quite a long line to try and do, but also followers looks like it could do with just being straight on instead, rather than at an angle like that. It needs to be accommodated for like that. So let's maybe duplicate the layer and lower the opacity down of 1. With this one above. I want to keep that arrow on the end. The arrow on the end is fine. As you can see there, we're going to keep this arrow here. Now I'm thinking of going down, but I need to go like horizontal. Something a bit like that, a bit more. You like the colours. They're going to look sick as well towards the end when we start to add in, of course, typical me, make some of them neon and some of them not. So just running this line into here, create an arc, we'll edit this shape. Look at me, I can't stop using it now. So I'm thinking that maybe a little bit something like this. That's kind of cool. Tell you what I'll do, I'll duplicate that layer, create a separate layer, and go from this point here all the way around, and let that run into there. Like that, so I've got that as a separate layer. And then let's lower the opacity down of this one, and erase. Don't know if you guys have seen lately, but there's been a vector app doing the rounds on the iPad. And I'm very tempted to start looking at it. I'm going to be looking at it for my day job purposes for another reason, but I think it's something we could maybe think about using, because there's a couple of cool tools in there. I think a lot of people would find a lot of use out of. I can't remember what it's called. I'll have a look for it in just 2 seconds. It's on my iPad. That curve's okay. What's up, Kevin? How you doing? How's life? What's new? That actually all looks pretty good now, so I think I can actually merge those two together now. Oh, don't do it that way. Just go back and increase the opacity back up of that to 100. Pinch them together. We got a nice, whoa. I feel like my color threshold is like by default at the minute, like enormous. Why is that doing that? Oh, hang on. There's another layer somewhere that's referenced. Let's reference this and then turn off the reference so that I should be able to drag and drop that in. There we go. Big brain. About middling, I guess. I don't know what that means. Vector data, that's the one, Milo. That's the one. That's cool. And then I think now that looks a lot nicer because followers now has somewhere to sit and it's got a home. So I can move that down a little bit now and it fits. Oh, slightly off to the right. That's kind of cool. If anything, I think we might even be able to move followers above the Instagram sign potentially. If that doesn't take away from it too much. We have to balance these out a little bit. Okay, that's cool. I like that. I like that. And then the frame's good. That's good. That's good. It's the Instagram. I don't know how to try and manage in there. I do have 2 versions. I've got one that is just the outline, and I think that's going to have to be the one I use. Uniform this down, and just, I don't want to put it like that. I want it to be like rotated, potentially like up here on the top line somehow. It's got to go up there because I need 30 to stay where it is. I'm thinking like hidden in behind here, matching the height. That's good actually. Let's grab this. Let's grab 30. Move that to there and start to bring that in a little bit tighter to those bulbs. And then when we go to this, let's mask it. And let's then erase some bits. Something a little bit like that. I think that's pretty cool. Joel, want me to tag you on our IG? No, I'm good, dude. Thank you. But, well, I've got hair in my mouth. I just want to do this particular design. Cool. Now, what I'm actually intending on is all of this, either, depending on what the time is, I mean, we've got loads of time, of making this like 3D, so tilting it on its side, and I don't know whether to draw. I think I'll probably draw the whole thing first, but it could be problematic. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly go back. Let's just duplicate the canvas real quick in case I go back and make an adjustment. And then I'll draw it flat to start with and see where it goes from there. So let's now go ahead, invert this round to white. Let's change the background to black now so we can get a better idea for where we are with it. That's looking cool. Right, let's crack on. So where should we start first? Let's start on... Let's start at the bottom. Let's do the pink lines and that arrow, so followers. So 2 things I want to do here. I want to drop the monoline brush and I'm going to have to re-outline this. Something like that. Lawrence, I only say that because I can't, my phone is using as the camera at the minute. So I won't be able to look at it anyway. But congrats yourself on hitting 30k. We're going to go across here. Now this, at this point's fine because it's still relatively straight, and then we're going to end up getting into a curve and end up having to match up to that line at the top, and that's going to be a little bit tricky. I think what I'll do is I'll actually just cut that off right here. Something like that. If I get the majority of that curve right, that's fine. I don't think I did on this occasion. Oh no, I think it's salvageable. Okay, yeah, I'm happy with that. I just need to tie it in together. Keep slouching. Is it just me, or when some things is off by the slightest bit, I fix them immediately? What is it you're referring to? That line is still not right. I need to run this line through there a little bit more. Anyway, I'm off to get I'm off. Anyway, I'm not getting pirate. I need a little Scottish. Oh yeah, sorry, mother. I don't know. Jesus, that's how tired I am. I'm reading that completely different. Or the dyslexia, either one. Anyway, I'm not getting pirate. I need a little Scottish. You have to hold on. It's in the early days in this stream. Can't be getting the Scottish out so early. Everybody will leave. I don't know why, but I could have said you are a perfectionist. A little bit, yeah. But I just want to make sure it looks good, I guess. The only thing that bugs me about that is I've just gone and I'm trying to keep the gap nice and consistent, and this point isn't consistent. It's more so from like here. That's better, and then I'll readjust that point at the top. You're not gonna leave yet, Claire? Was it that's a wee bonny lassie? That's what what's her name? Julie. Julie always makes me say. Okay, that's cool. That's looking nice and sharp, and I'm in an iron about how to go about that, but we'll move followers a bit closer into there. We'll also change the color of that now to change that to white. And I think the problem is with this outline is I'm probably gonna have to like duplicate it a few times and just go like up, go up twice, duplicate it again, go down twice, and then probably pinch them together, duplicate that, go twice this way, 1, 2. That should just thicken that up quite a bit. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like this. I love this retro style. I love retro style. But again, thinking of making it 3D, so I don't want to adjust any of the line work yet or start getting into like particulars on the lighting, because if I make it 3D, there's a lot that needs to be considered. Right, let's get into adding some extra details all round. So we're going to add some more basic details into this frame here. I'm going to use white for a second, and then this brush is actually one of Kiki's Funky Tea creations. If you don't know who she is already, you need to go and follow her. Let's put a dot here and go across here, and then we can adjust that line, put that dot nicely on there, nice and easy. Oh, that was very close, very close. Let's go recent. There we go. What's her name? Oh, you're tired. Kiki. Kiki Funky Tea Creations. Kiki. That's her Instagram. That's her YouTube name. Hey, don't be trying to come up in here trying to make me sound tired. If you ain't listening, that's your problem. There's nothing to do with me. That is actually her YouTube name. Funky T Creations, or K otherwise. I'm gonna redo that. Clear. What time is it where you live? It is 20 to 10, so I'm in the UK. Yeah, 20 to 10 over here. Oh, Julie. Okay, I'm with you. Okay, well, I guess I should apologize. This doesn't like it when you do just 4 dots, I've noticed. Point to point. You have to do 5 and then just arrange them like that so that dot overlaps that one, and then just erase this one. That's looking cool. Nice little bit of bulb work around the outside. Jonathan, where in the UK? So I'm in the south. I'm in Devon. So it's nice and it's not like a city or anything, which is awesome. Because not the biggest fan of the cities. Nice for a little visit, but gotta be by the water. Okay, that's come along nicely. We've got the signage in there. We also need to add lots of little letters inside this text. Inside the 30 text. Lots of bulbs in there. I'm wondering. We'll just do it straight on there. Oh, it's nice. We're gonna have to see where we can get some bulbs in here without forcing it. That's gonna look really cool. You've been to Devon? Only for a couple of days, but 20 years ago. Beautiful place. Beautiful, beautiful place. Whereabouts in Devon did you go? Kevin, I had never looked before. I just noticed I have 250 followers on Instagram. Can't imagine what it's like with those people. It's actually Instagram's actually pretty sweet in terms of it gives you a whole set of extra features as you continue to grow to help manage, which is cool. You know, like I can go on and in my notifications I can just pick what I want to see. So if I want to see just comments and mentions and stuff like that, you get those extra features just to be able to just see stuff that's, you know, relevant in a sense. Like I don't need to see all the time how many sort of likes a piece has, which is a good thing because that, you know, it helps your mentality out a lot, your mental state if you're not interested in the numbers so much. Could we get a light in there? We'll squeeze one in there. That's looking cool. That's looking nice. Lawrence, usually I'm not energetic to draw. On Procreate. You don't need to be energetic. You gotta find 10 minutes. You gotta find that space. I cannot remember how Fadus. Okay, I think that's good. I need to go back to the Instagram section because I want to add some lines in here. Make that a clipping mask, so horizontal lines. And I think I made something the other day. But what did I make it for? What was it? What was it? What was it? What did I create horizontal lines for? Not that one. This is why you need a search in here. We need a search. So what we'll do is instead we will, I think I had another one. We just use the monoline brush, screw it. Thanks, Milo, I appreciate that. Let's tone those lines down a little bit. I think I can turn my guide off now actually as well because I can see all of that. Okay, I think we're there. The 30 text needs an outline around it. Luckily we can duplicate the text, edit the text, select it. Let's just grab white for a second. And then double tap on the text again, go to here, go to outline. Oh, that is annoying. Why does it want to do that? Why do you want to do all of that? Alright, let's go in and touch some of this up then. How annoying. I'm going to allow every letter to run into each other. So we'll get rid of that and then run that. Joel, landscape set. Yeah, that's the one. It was the no, it wasn't the landscape, it was the no, it was the skyline set. I don't know if you remember that one from Patreon. The one where we did like it's Patreon number 3. Yeah, just like that. So this is really sort of getting the foundations of this design ready so I can make all the changes afterwards. OHQ. What does that mean? What does that mean? Is Kevin still here? Kevin, you still here? Sweet. Okay, that's that one done. Now, do I go 3D or not? It would take forever. What time is it? It's 10 to 10 now. I think I can get away with just carrying on No, it's all good. It's all good, Kevin. I was just going to say, I remember seeing your Groudon geometric from Tati's tutorial the other day. Looked awesome. Nice, nice. Alright, I posted a little drawing for you on Instagram. I mentioned you, by the way. Cool. No worries, my friend. I'll come and take a look in a little bit when I'm off stream. Okay. So what I think I want to do with the Instagram logo is actually probably duplicate this a second. Go down to this logo, turn this on, and clipping mask it to it. And I want to basically just try and grab the gradient and put the gradient inside what I've got, and then obviously erase the bits that are not the gradient. So just I've got to basically match up. Well, no, not so necessarily match up, actually, the other way. If anything, I just want to get the gradient in there. The annoying thing with the Instagram gradient is not a straightforward one. I know I've got this little bit of white here to touch up, so let's just grab this. I might even use just like the soft airbrush or something just to. I'm pretty happy with it. Pretty happy with that one. It was a lot of work, but it came out much better than expected. It looked awesome. It looked really cool. That tutorial by Tati was bang on. I'm a huge fan of Tati, and I'd love to have a chat with her one day about doing something like some sort of collab or something like that. But yeah, it's a great tutorial. Like the effect that it gives at the end, awesome. So match this line up a little bit to this one. That's pretty close. A little bit smaller than that. Just draw a circle around here. That would be cool. It would be cool. I really want to try and do little bits and bobs with other creators here and there, and just see what they're willing to do. I've said this before on stream. There's lots of space in the Procreate space for us to, I think, as creators, take it to another level, because there isn't a so far what I've seen like a collab style set of videos, and I think there's lots of space for it. Why is it doing that? Oh, IG. It's just going to look pretty sick actually in the end. It's just going to take a lot of work to get there, so I appreciate you following along with me while I just get this right. Because what I've done there is I've done one corner so that I can pinch these together now and duplicate that, and then just flip it horizontally. Actually, let's instead just rotate it so that I don't have to do it in every corner. I can just do it here. That down a smidge here and there, up here. And then maybe just take that down a little bit. It'll Procreate collab. That would be sick, right? That would be cool. And I know why it's so beneficial to think about doing it, because there are everybody pretty much in the Procreate space, pretty much, unless you really don't like someone in the terms of their work that they do, most consumers of the content are following pretty much every other creator. You know, like everybody who pretty much likes Procreate most of the time is following one or two, if not more, creators. So, you know, it's immediately like, it's not like the other what am I getting at? Some collabs with, like, let's say like viral or like personalities, you've never heard potentially of the other person in there. But in this space, I can guarantee that pretty much everybody has heard of the other person in the video most of the time, because there's lots of creators, but the type of, you know, the type of content that we make is awesome, because you can, you know, follow a lot of creators and get a lot of different content from a lot of different people. Just pick and choose what you want to do. So I think it's beneficial, and like, yeah, there's a lot of recognition already there, sort of thing. That's looking sick. That's gonna be neon up there as well. That's gonna look sick. You and James could do something. I think you're both in the UK. Yeah, we are. So you could be. You can't be too far apart. That would be cool. James is sick, to be fair. It's more easier no matter the country, because it's all digital. Exactly. So I could come up with a concept, send them some files or whatnot, and, you know, we work on it from there. Let's just quickly, so that's all come together nicely. Let's pinch all of those lines together. I think we can get away with maybe pinching those together now. I can collapse that group down. Then I think there's just a few things I just need to tweak before we start to get into actual proper details. 30 here, alpha lock is the wrong color. I need to grab this color here, fill that. It's going to have more of a yellowy touch at the top here. Now that looks a lot closer to what I want it to look like. Likewise, let's alpha lock this and fill this as well, so the dots are a bit closer to what I want. The rest though looks pretty good. I think we're good to go. Just at this point, considering the 3D look, or do I just leave it simple like this? I could make certain things look 3D, but not from the angle I would want them to. I could make 30. I was thinking like a skew that way, but I think if I'm going to make it 3D, I'd have to drag everything down and just create like yeah, like you're looking at it from underneath it sort of view. It's not a competition we like you all exactly. That's a really good point. It's not like the type of space, I don't think, where people are willing to like just jump on top of each other to like get an advantage, you know. Go from the Neon King. I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, but they don't all like Johnny Marie. Oh, look like Johnny. Hey, relax, yo, relax. It's a PG stream. Okay, cool. Let's get into some. At this point, I'm going to go back and I'm going to duplicate the canvas real quick. I only ever go full screen there because there's other canvases in here that you shouldn't necessarily see just yet. So it doesn't matter, even if you see them, you don't know where they're going yet. So okay, let's go to followers and let's start working on this. Let's duplicate this layer. No, it's not. Let's create a new layer above it. Gosh, and blur that in just to create some nice depth in there. We'll add like a nice We'll add some nice grungy look to everything afterwards. I think I watched your third drawing tutorial. Which one was that third one? Started off, was that the neon one? The neon triangle? I'm not embarrassed. Hey, whoa, 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 whoa. It's all good, it's all good. It's all good. Let's go. Gaussian blur this out. It's only a small space, so I think we're gonna have to go up to like 14 off the rip. And then set these to a bit smaller than that. $10. $7's good. $4's good. I appreciate that, Kevin. That's the. Like I said before, like I understand more so these days why people continue just to stick to their style and that's it. That's all they want to do, and I appreciate that because you do end up thinking of things and how to make the process better and redefine it, do things differently the next time, just do things in a better way every single time. So yeah, I appreciate that. It can. I don't doubt it. To some people, it can be a bit repetitive if they've done it before, but I like doing it. And Lauren says some of the tutorial pieces are from Flow, some are from others. Some of the others are from you. Oh, that's awesome. Appreciate the support, Lawrence. They do, Kevin. They stand him apart, but I'm loving the landscape. The landscapes I'm loving doing, Claire. Loving doing those. They I'd arguably like to do even more, but I try to dial them down a little bit. I don't want to be. If I'm going to start doing more, then they need to start going on like Instagram, not Instagram, on YouTube and stuff. Because they can't just constantly keep going onto I can't multitask today at all. Patreon only, because otherwise it's going to start getting really saturated, and I do not want to do that. Again, guys, just bear in mind that when I draw this on now and give a light coat on here, it looks a lot brighter on your screen than it does on mine, so just bear that in mind. Oh, that's sick, Marie. That's sick. I appreciate that. You guys are full of love today. Full of love. Let's drag this down a little bit and start to consider possibilities with making things 3D. I've just noticed my screen is just starting to switch to the other mode. Night mode. Night mode. Little bit of night mode. Fill that in, link that up, that's cool. Start adding some extra bits of color, I think, into here. That's cool. You just got to master these mountains. Kevin, sorry, the landscapes are awesome. I'm going to do the new one as soon as I get a chance to finish one I'm working on. After the stream, I'm gonna follow you one of your drawing tutorials. That's awesome, Lawrence. Appreciate that. Claire, I think I just saw that. I think I caught a glimpse of it just before I came online, so I've not seen it just yet. But I'll make sure to take a look as soon as I'm finished. Typically before a live stream, I'll always like spend some time like really sort of planning out what I'm going to try and do, believe it or not. I know I come into live streams sometimes and I've not got anything, but I do try to plan it sometimes. Just adding random little bits here and there that are just a little bit brighter here and there, little trims and whatnot, just where the lighting's just getting a bit brighter. We've still got to make followers neon as well, but look, that looks nice and crispy. Got like a bit of a 3D arrow going on there. What's up, Rowan? I appreciate the love, my friend. Thanks for dropping in. The technique with their mountain ones especially is that sort of flick of the wrist style. It's the flick of that little wrist just to try and get that technique right, and just the curve to chop away into things all the time. Mastering that little technique there. Well, it's just looking a bit crispy, you know. Oh. Just adding in little details here and there just to try and fill it out, flush it out quite a bit. It's already looking pretty sick though. I'm quite happy with that. The only thing I haven't done yet, I've just realized, is add the drop shadow that I always do. So let's do that before I progress any further. Let's move that underneath there. Go to Gaussian blur. Make that about sort of 3%. Drag that down a little bit just to stand the bars off from. See that little extra little detail there. Look how sick that looks. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, Kevin, I noticed you've been doing the James Julia ones. I love it. I love his tutorials. Again, I always say all the time, every day is always a school day. Every day's a school day, and I need to sit down and do a James one. Just see what he's going through, what process he takes with the clouds. All right, let's make followers nice and tidy as well. Let's alpha lock this. Let's make this nice and bright. And turn off the alpha lock. I've got loads of layers in this. Should probably think about taking a few down a little bit, but see where we get to. Let's go to about 10% there. I might have to make this a bit tighter to the text. Oh, wrong layer. Huh? Oh, I keep slouching. Can you shout at me? If I'm slouching, shout. Just shout. In the chat, just shout. It's not good. It's not good. I need to tuck myself right under and arguably bring my sketchboard a bit closer to me. I just don't want to move the camera. Sod it. We'll move it a bit closer. And then we'll move the arm and zoom out that camera just a smidge. I'll do. I've never known why this particular app, I don't know why, but like afterwards, like when I'm going to record another video, it's going to be skew again. Let's go here, let's go Gaussian blur. Let's make followers to some bright. Let's make that about sort of 7% maybe. Change this one to add as well. something really tight to the letters. We can't get away with adding too much on there, to be honest. The only thing we need to do is just add the drop shadow, invert that down. Gaussian blur, add like a 3% shadow there, and just move that down just a smidge. Just to have that stand off in the background. That's looking pretty cool. Potentially you could add like a little graphic in here, like some arrows or something pointing this way. You've learned a ton about skies from James. Yeah, it's awesome. Awesome tutorials. He was the first YouTuber I discovered, says Kevin. And Claire says, I love his clouds, but I will say I love the look of your clouds with the flat brush job. Oh yeah, we ain't done a cloud one in ages. This is what I mean. I don't want to do things that are too repetitive all the time, but things like that, like I loved that tutorial. That's looking sick. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on to the Instagram sign. The Instagram text itself on the inside is perfectly fine. It's just this outer edge and making the lights glow, which is pretty straightforward. We'll duplicate that layer. We'll change the bottom layer to add. We go adjustments, Gaussian blur, and we just blur these out, creating little spotlights. That's cool. And then on this layer, we maybe just under here maybe clipping mask these layers as well to keep things nice and tidy and inside the boundaries. We just add like a little bit of blue here and there in the right spot. So what we do is we just brighten up a few of these bulbs on their own, not every single one, just a few, and then that helps separate the bulbs from one another. They don't look too consistent, they don't look too, I don't know, kind of boring. If we're going to make this 3D, which I've already sort of pretty much committed to at this point, we will make this a bit darker. Grab this frame, just move that down a smidge. Maybe even scale it down as well. Is that right? Okay, tell you what, we'll go undo that for a sec. What we'll do is we'll duplicate this one instead. Drag that down, drag this down, make it 3D from the bottom side. Yeah, that's cool. Use the airbrush and a few artistic brushes, like, and voila. Lauren says the Mario mushroom was one of your favorites as well. Yeah, it's a pretty good tutorial. I'm pretty happy with that. It's pretty straightforward. I've got a few that are coming lately, by the way, that are a little bit more straightforward, a little bit more sort of simplistic. I want to, as always, try and make sure my tutorials accommodate for all different levels of Procreate, you know, creators and whatnot. So I want to make sure that I'm making sure I create tutorials that, like I said, are accommodating for everyone. So you will see some sort of simple ones coming your way soon, just to level up the playing field a little bit. In terms of some of the content lately, it's been a bit longer. The ones that are coming are definitely a lot longer. The only thing I need to try and convey here is that these lights are inside this. But for the minute, we'll continue to work on the outer edge first. We'll add some basic curve lighting in here. Appreciate that, Jonathan. Looking dope. And have you found... Oh, the Gengar, the neon Pokemon one, yeah. So that sign is looking so good. Oh, I appreciate that. Milo. Charizard. Yeah, Charizard. So what we'll do here is, I need to obviously separate that inner text from the inner bezel compared to this outer bezel. So what we'll do is we'll just add some very basic lighting around here, and make sure this layer here is linked up on the corners. All this for a quick Instagram post that will probably get about 6 or 7 likes. That's good, that's good. I'm sure I'll get more than 6 or 7, but you know what I mean. It's just a good subject really for today. Gives me something to work with, a topic to run with. That's cool. I want to reflect the pink on here as well, so I think I'll probably create like a separate layer for this, just so I don't interfere with that too much. And then like block out this bottom edge here where the pink lighting there is running onto the corners. Maybe even like really bright down here. Brush that along there. I want to make that sign look a little bit sort of metal, sort of chamfered look to it. But it looks like it ties into the environment, you know? That's cool, and then maybe just run that slightest bit of pink just up this edge. Nice, that's cool. Now this inside edge is an interesting one because, oh, hang on, I've not finished yet. Let's go here, let's maybe grab this color here. Didn't do the inside, did I? Let's do it inside there. Looking cool. It's looking cool. And then we got to try and make this look like it's 3D on the inside edge. So what I think I might need to do is actually potentially just outline this to define the edge of it. If anything, that's just made it look 3D. Like if I got rid of the shadow on the inside, or even that, it just looks 3D frame. Do you know what? I'll roll with the 3D frame. I'm happy with that. I'll fire. And do I just leave the like that frame like that and just make it 3D, not make it 3D depth wise? It just looks, I'm saying 3D loads and loads and loads. Got the frame around the outside which looks nice in 3D, but then this looks like it's the top surface. What I was trying to make it look like was that it was indented in there, so like it was like a wall on the inside. So I think I had it set here. If I turn this back on, it looks a little bit like there's a wall on the inside, but it's not really giving me the right look unless I move these bulbs down like that sort of thing, that they sit in that space a little bit more. Let's try it for just a sec. Which layer am I working with there? It's actually this one then. Lawrence says, I heard that merging emojis is quite trending. I feel like Joel's would be the best, no doubt. I don't know what. I've not seen it, to be honest with you. I merged an emoji with Amber Heard from Aquaman. I tried to stay off that subject on stream, to be honest with you guys. It's not the best thing to be necessarily talking about on the stream for me. Well, not for me, like, don't worry, there's nothing personal there. I mean, as in, it's not the best subject to necessarily be talking about on streams. Okay, I'm slowly starting to build up the look that I wanted. Slowly, 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 slowly. Okay, that's not too bad. Let's duplicate this layer, and not that it will make any difference unless I drag it up here. If I Gaussian blur this, no, we'll take that off. The Instagram sign, you can make it look like it's surrounded by lights pretty easily if you just create a new layer above it and clip it. Select the shape, but invert the selection to the outside. Grab white, or even the main color of this. You basically just sort of haze it a little bit. Select, invert, back to layer, this one, fill. And then Gaussian blur that in, soften up the edges, and it looks like it then becomes part of the sign. It looks kind of bright. See what I mean there? Just sort of takes a little bit out of it. Oh, Milo, sorry. And Joe, silence. Have to go. Sorry. See you on Discord. Don't forget to like the video and do the channel. I appreciate you, Milo, dropping in, sharing some love. Sorry, I didn't look at the chat for a little while there. Have a lovely day wherever you are and whatever you get up to. Do you know what I mean, though, Clay? Do you know what I mean? It's like not like the most. I don't know. You know what I mean? Nothing. You know, we all have our opinion on it, for sure. Kevin said, I tried to watch the Legal Eagle explain, but okay. That looks pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's move on. Let's just move on to the bulbs. Now, I mentioned earlier with the bulbs, the last thing I want to do is do that eight times. So I'm gonna keep the others, but work on the first one, which is over here. We need to create like a nice little bulb here, and then duplicate it across the rest. You do indeed. That's awesome. Lawrence, the link to the Discord is in the description down below. So it's just, if you don't have Discord, that's something you obviously need first. Let's move this above this for a second, up to here. I can see the iPad starting to maybe struggle a little bit. I don't know why. Okay, let's first of all darken up the center of the bulb. Circular motion first. Let's then maybe try and grab like a yellowy tone, I guess. A little bit of a warmer tone. I'm gonna try to make this bulb first. It's not got to look particularly super realistic or anything. Just needs to have a really good glow at the end. What's up? What's up? Is it Jose or Jose? Hey, bro. Nice to see you on. I appreciate you dropping in the chat, my friend. Lawrence, you just need to create a Discord account and then just click the link in the description down below and it will literally just pop up to say, do you want to join? That's it. I'm not sure about that. Just need to gloss over that a little bit, take a little bit more of that out. I think I might just try and gamble on that for a second. Turn off this ring, I think. Or actually just merge them together. Let's see if we can get this right. Let's go about 5%. And then let's zoom out of that. What does that look like? It's okay. It's not bad, to be fair. It's quite close to what I was expecting it to look like. I wonder whether or not I can see what type of layer effects we can get out of it. See, something a bit more like that, and then maybe pinch them two together and then brighten that back up again. Is that alpha locked? No. It's alpha locked the life out of that. What's up, Christy? How you doing? How have you been? What's new with you? Good morning, all. I hope you're all well. Thank you I'm very well. Thank you very much, Christy. Lawrence, how often am I on Discord? I'm in there every day. I don't necessarily get involved in chats every day because there's quite a lot to be keeping up with, but I'm in there every day. Like, what's the lady from Monsters Inc? Always watching, you know? So busy. Jose says, congrats on 30k. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you very much. I'm just going to try and create a new layer above this and just see if I can create some sort of glow nice and easy. I'm not particularly liking the lighting just yet. That's getting very close to what I like though. See, that looks sick, but it's way too bright, and maybe reduce that down, and maybe the letter needs some work in a second, but it looks sick, you know. And I could animate this really, couldn't I? Lawrence, the doodle challenges go out every Wednesday at some point on a Wednesday, whenever I get to it. Roz, what's Roz? Oh. Do you know what? That's not bad. That's not bad. I think if we maybe flatten that group down and then go to the text and do the same thing I did a second ago. If we clipping mask this, select the text, but then invert it, go up to here and fill. Oh, Roz. Is that her name? Gotcha. I always forget what I ask you, and then I just move on. And then you guys answer it, and I'm like, what? What are you on about? Where'd you get the inspiration from for your designs? I got asked that earlier on, actually. Typical websites of like Dribbble is a good one. You've got Dribbble, you've got Pinterest, you know, all your standard sites that you can think of, Pinterest. But otherwise, you just need to find things that you want to draw. Don't draw things that you think others are going to think look cool. That's, I mean, nobody really, you know, don't draw things because you think other people will think it's cool. Draw stuff that you want to draw. Said this the other week about how that's like a battle I'm having with myself at the minute. Like, I want to do landscapes, but I don't want people getting bored. But at the same time, that's what I want to make. So I'm like, well, I'm going to do a landscape. Oh, by the way, I've shot 2 of the tutorials for next month's Patreon. And I say this all the time. I know I do. And, you know, almost like I rate my work too highly, but they are sick. You're gonna, I mean, you'll have seen one already, because I think I sneak peeked it on a live stream, but the other one you won't have seen. It's another landscape, but it was what the snowy high brush was intended to be used for. So finally got a snowy mountain design coming. So I know Marie's probably turned off the stream now that she heard the word mountain again, but it's a cool tutorial. It looks sick. Try not to personally get hell-bent over the positioning of these bulbs a bit too much. Oh, that's kind of cool. I think there could be more work done to it, but I think in terms of timing, we won't do too much on there. I think maybe actually, and I've forgotten to do it on the blue layer, is to drop some of the color of that section just onto the background. So where did I just put that bit of color? I think it was in this layer. Let's move that way out to the background and create a new layer. This is going to be like my background colors. I want all these colors to spill out onto the back. That way we get a nice amount of color in there. A little something going on in the background as well, you know. Ooh, that'd be looking nice. Again, it's a lot brighter on my screen than it is on your. It's a lot brighter on the stream than it is in reality. So that blue though is a bit. Still can't get that pressure right. Let's reduce this down. Cool. I like that. I like that a lot. Kevin, buenas noches. Gotta make dinner before raid hour starts. Oh, is your raid hour now? Oh, damn, I forgot about that this evening. Hey, have fun, Kevin. Appreciate you dropping in, my friend. Oh, Christy, sorry. My iPad has been broken for a few weeks, so I can't draw. Oh, no. What happened? I did think, so again, I said this a couple of times on stream, so you would have heard this if you've obviously previously been in here recently, but I mentioned, like, I see people that I'm aware certain people haven't like been drawing. Not that I'm calling anybody out, you know what I mean? What I mean by that is I like, I'm in the back of my mind, I'm like, do you know what? I haven't heard from such and such in a while. I haven't heard from such and such, and I'm like, ask them? Do I chase? Not chase them, because I don't want anyone thinking I'm chasing them. You know, like, why aren't you drawing? But you know, just like you notice these things. You notice that you know, people's interests sometimes have changed, but also why is it's not playing? There we go. You notice people sort of, yeah, just maybe haven't got the time at this particular time. So, oh, that's why. I think I'll have to move that in front of this. There we go. So now we've got a little bit of 3D text in there as well. Not sure. It won't turn on at the moment. Saving for a new one. I can't chase you. I can't chase you. You got your own lives. Don't need to worry about me and, you know, if my views will ever recover and, you know, this decline that the channel's on and, you know, if I'll even be able to eat dinner this week. Do you know what I mean? Or, you know, I haven't had the heating on in ages. It's just becoming a bit of a joke. I mean, yeah, people, you think people care for you, you think that they, you know, they think you get a little bit of love from someone and then they just snatch it away from you, just left with nothing. Do you know what I mean? You think you know who your friends are, that's you know what I mean, and then it's just things like this that just. I could do a polite check-in. I got messaged Kirsty today just to see how she's doing. So again, it's one of those people that I've thought recently, like, oh, I haven't heard from her in a little while. He says, that's a great response. As he's drawing for 30k followers. Yeah, all right, fair play, fair play. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. It's a good comeback. I enjoyed that. Ah, Claire, you're always here. In a good way. You're always here. I appreciate you. Not that I don't appreciate Kirsty. You know what I'm saying. Christy as well. Otherwise, what's life like for you at the minute? Is there any lockdowns or anything, or have you completely come out of your lockdowns now, Christy? Let's try and get a darker tone in like areas like this. Just really darken up that area. Be a little bit in there. Little bit into this groove here, little bit in there as well. Just try to add some extra definition to certain darker areas. I think with lettering, this is very much like an approach that you should always start super light with your colors and really build up the changes in the text, because you can quite easily and quickly start to build it up, but then you sort of run out of space to add it on. If that makes sense, you run out of space to. You should always build it up because there's so many little creases as well in the text, but you will eventually run out of space. So your foundations are got to be good from the start. Like that's not too bad. Brighten this up quite a bit, and I'll give a nice crisp edge to here. And try to do it there as well. I know you do, Christy. I appreciate you dropping in when you do. No, we're pretty much over them now. Oh, that's good. It's been a while though, hasn't it? New Zealand is opening up its gates from the 31st of July, so come for a visit. I'm actually going. We're planning on going to New Zealand for our honeymoon. So if you can get the sofa bed out, that'll be magic. I got no idea where, so don't ask me a particular location. I've got no idea, but it's a beautiful country, and I think we spoke about this a little while ago. So yeah, it would be awesome. Not sure fully yet what the final decision is, but that was the last thing we spoke about. So, oh, that text is looking beautiful. Always got a spare bed for visitors. I'll have to bring on my camera equipment though. No, the grind never stops. Yeah, I think we said New Zealand. I would love to go to New Zealand. I think it's a beautiful country. I love sorry, let me rephrase that. I can sit on a beach and do nothing, but I don't want to these days. I don't want to. I want to, explore. I want to see things. I don't really want to sit on a beach for, for a couple of weeks. So, I'd like to explore, take a look around, have a good. Just take it in, basically. Take everything in. Nice. That's looking good. I don't know why, but this Spotify is just not carrying on the next song. It's mute. There we go. But I do actually continuously forget that, here in the UK, we're living with the C word. I won't really say it on stream because I think it gets your video like demonetized, or not demonetized, but it gets your video. They pick up the words you use, don't they? Try to make sure people aren't spreading misinformation and stuff. But I forget that other countries are still rocking with it because we're quote unquote living with it. That text is looking sweet. Got some nice reflections from that edge. That's looking tidy. Let's carry on that into here. Do you play any games? If you do, what is your favorite? Play FIFA religiously, always have done, always will do. But otherwise, play Call of Duty, play standard procedure of, what's it called? Warzone. Sorry, I'm really struggling to multitask today. Warzone and FIFA. Warzone, very infrequently, but Fortnite, I guess. And F1. Like to play F1 as well. Claire's off. Thanks for popping in. I appreciate you and all your support in the chat. And thanks again for congratulating us on 30k. Have a wonderful evening, Claire. Ja, we born the lassie, eh? How you doing? How you doing? You love Fortnite, do you? I mean, I was obviously playing it first time round. I go back and play it now because they took the builds out, but yeah, not religiously anymore. Not like we used to. Like, we're only 30, do you know what I mean? Can't be keeping up with kids. This edge here. Oh, hang on. Let's first of all actually bring this layer to life a little bit by duplicating the lights. Turn off the alpha lock. Gaussian blur these. Blur them out. Something maybe about 5%. Duplicate it again. don't like building, but it's kind of hard to edit. Yeah, it's just got to like a level that was just mental. So not something that I'll even bother attempt to try and keep up with. Just sack it off and move on. Now this layer here is gonna be interesting to try and get this sort of crisp, as I just pretty much smash it almost first time there. Just need to maybe motion blur that out a little bit. Nice, that looks cool. That's pretty sick. Can you see that sort of detail in there? Yeah, you can. I'll do the same trick I did a second ago where we go back into the layers and we add all the glows. We make some glows bigger than the others. So we create a new layer, we'll clip it in there as well. Everything really should be clipped. Not sure why that's changed so drastically. Sorry for the short stop, but I have to work. Congrats on the followers. Shows how awesome you are. I appreciate you, Christy, and have a wonderful day. Enjoy the rest of your day at work. Wait, what? What's happened there? Oh, has that... What's happened there? We have... Yeah, that's the 3D layer. That's the main base layer of everything. Oh, okay, I'm with you. I'm with myself now. I need to actually create a layer here and clipping mask it so that when I increase the glow of like certain bulbs like that, yeah, it's cool. It's contained within the actual letter. Really punching out some of these little bulbs. Oh, that's cool. I think that's got like a bit too much of a glossy look to it. I think potentially this has gone a bit too bright, which is... What if we made this? You know, that's quite cool. That's quite cool. Let's just leave that like that. Let's move on to Instagram, but also in the background, we'll add another new layer of color. We'll add some red in the background. You can't tell the difference between motion blur and Gaussian blur. They're very different to each other. I'll show you in a second the differences, but motion pushes it in the direction that you force it into, and Gaussian blur is just a blur. You just pick the percentage and that's it. You don't get to decide anything else from that. Let's just try this with yellow in the back, because I do quite like the yellow. That's kind of cool. Let's go to Instagram. Let's duplicate these neon bars. Let's maybe just try and clipping mask this straight away, set this to add, and just try and get a Gaussian blur straight out of the bars. Doesn't look too bad. Let's duplicate this layer, drag it down. Let's also This one I need to drag down. And perspective. Yeah, so they're very different things. What's up, Jake? Just making my way through this sign, really. Nothing necessarily missed just yet. I've got lots of little extra details to add in the background. But just cracking on with this design. So I'll show you in a second the differences. Let's just link these corners first of all. I need to create full shapes. That's the wrong color. Nice. Let's go up here. Let's grab this color. Thanks, Jake. Just nearly there. Very nearly there. Just linking up all these shapes now. Just trying to get this right before we move on to making this look kind of 3D. Does look pretty cool. Then when we add that layer on, that immediately sort of just tones that down a little bit. I can probably pinch the two together and then start to consider what we change on here. So I'm just going to use white. What the heck? Why am I seeing a bit of colour here? What's happened? That layer doesn't look right to me. What has happened here? Invert, clear that. Clear. There's something like up here that's still... I don't know if I can just maybe just go like this and grab the entire layer. Tap on this and clear. Yeah, there's loads of excess around the outside. Very strange. Just going to relax and watch you. I've been working on another doodle challenge. I have an idea for your new one. I can't wait to do it. I posted that up today, didn't I? I don't think I forgot, did I? Nah. I know you love the doodle challenges. It's good that so many people do like it because it is a cool feature. Just such a different way. I say this quite often, most weeks, but a nice way of testing your abilities in different ways to just doing a tutorial. Oh, that looks lush. That looks really like chrome-like. Ooh, that's looking nice. Kind of doing the same effect that we did with the oh, that looks so cool. The samurai with the chamfered lines. Look how cool that looks. You can make it look really nice and chromy quite quickly. Oh, that's cool. And then what we need to do is we just need to move the neon parts of it up. So kind of like, I really like it when people do this and like really make it stand off. Like, so at the minute it needs to get the right angle, but it looks like it sort of stands off. Invert this, drag this under here, Gaussian blur, 3%, grab the cursor, just move that down, creating a nice shadow in here. Create that step, but it looks like it really steps off. It looks sick. This looks like it's just slightly the wrong tone. I don't know what it is. I think it's maybe the red. There's something about it I don't like. I don't know what it is yet. Maybe it is the yellow surround that I don't like that much. And then put the yellow on the inside. Yeah, that's good. Joe, can I get a sheesh? Absolutely not. Joe, you're probably sick of me tagging you in every single word. No, absolutely not. I love seeing the creativity that you come up with. I like to see, how you're pushing yourself, because then I know whether or not I can, sort of push certain, parts of the drawing challenges in other directions as well, just to keep you on your toes. That looks a lot better like that. Maybe run some slightly lighter lines across the text, just to give it that little bit of a sort of chromy look where possible. A bit more of a glossy look to it. It's starting to look okay. I'm not in love with the top part of it, but it is what it is. Let's add a little bit of red just in here. It's just going to sit in the background there. Probably create another layer. Just a little bit of red in behind here, just to add these extra colors to the sort of background set of colors. Now that's looking a lot better. I prefer the look of it. We ended up going with such a more chromy sort of look to everything that I feel like that was probably a nice little extra step worth adding. And then the Instagram part here, this could do with being a lot more chrome-like. So like in there, I could need to really just get quite brave with it. Start running some lines through again, just to sort of chrome it up, shine it certain areas, just to see what we can get away with. This one's going to be a tricky one. Select the shape. How do you do emoji challenges? What do you mean, how do I do them? Because I do... The emoji challenges are more set that you just need to add the objects that in the emoji challenge to your design in some way. So if it was a top hat and a robot, most of the time you're just doing a robot with a top hat, but you can create any robot you want. You can create any, well, you know, any colored hat, top hat, let's say, for example. It's totally up to you what you want to draw, but otherwise it's just meant to involve those items where possible. No, it's no, Jay. Jay's referring to my doodle challenge, which is the emoji ones, from what I can gather, as we were talking about the challenges. Do you know what? I'm really pleased with this one. I'm really pleased with how that's come out. There's a couple of things you can do, which is quite a nice little feature to add, which is like sort of background content. So you can build like a frame around this content to make it look like it sits on a frame. So maybe we could create, say, like a pillar here. I don't know how far. I think I should probably do the horizontal ones first. But you build like a frame that this, so it looks like there's something that the design actually sits against. So I'm going to have to probably select all the groups before I do this. Yeah, let's grab that and just move it across a bit more central. About there. Oh, that's sick. Let's then create a new layer and let's do some horizontal framing. Potentially, don't think the window lines brush is going to work. It's not the right one. So I've got some references. Yeah, let's go across here. Let's try and make sure that's nice and even. So let's grab that and put it in the middle of our canvas, as always. Where is the middle? There. Why am I just constantly losing that line? Do you know what that'll do? Not sure how this is going to look in the end, but we'll see. Bye again. Oh, you hang around for a little bit longer. See you later, Claire. Have a lovely. Well, I guess you're from the UK, aren't you? Am I right? No. Yeah. No. Why can't I remember that? Ah, well, you can still enjoy the rest of your day. Wrapped up in bed, or doing whatever you gotta do for the day. I like the 5, so let's group all those together. Maybe just move them down a smidge to like here. So they sit sort of close to each other. Yes, 11 o'clock in the UK right now. It is indeed. So it's not far off me being done for the stream, but just want to see if I can get some cool little extra features in here. And then maybe create some little sort of cross beams in here where we can even see them. I don't know, something like that. So it looks like something, like it's got something to grip onto in the background, you know? I like those lines. Duplicate that, flip that horizontally. I have to add a little bit more detail in this little bit here. Wasn't expecting to have to see that, to be honest, but it's all good. Let's get rid of this. Yeah, it'll do. That will definitely do. If you can, make sure you check out the drawings we made for 30k IG. Yeah, I would. Do you use the same brush for the doodle challenge? Yeah, I always just use the monoline, to be honest with you, just to create the line work. Nothing too fancy. Nothing too particular. Nothing too. Sorry. Again, I can't multitask today for toffee. Yeah, nothing fancy and nothing. It's not meant. It's only just meant to be a very quick shape, isn't it, for everybody? Okay, cool. That's a nice little bit of framework there to add on. I think potentially we could maybe, now I'm done with it, flatten that down. Try to maybe just merge that somehow with the background. Just let a bit of the background color through. Sure, overlay would have done that, but it didn't. None of them are really having the effect that I wanted them to. I wanted it to just sort of let through a little bit of light in. Now, whether or not we just lower the opacity down, just to sort of dull them down a little bit like that, yeah. Okay, cool. Let's just add some final extra touches, I think. An occasional bit of extra lighting here and there is what I want to add. So little bits that just, a little sort of flares like that of color. So a little dot here, little dot there, just right on the top of the layers. Grab the blues. And if somebody says the T word for this one, absolutely no chance. This was just meant to be a one-off piece. maybe even grab some lens flares or something. Let's grab some like little flares. Where did I have that flare set? Haven't slept much. Yeah, I feel that. Struggling. This one's a nice one. Let's add this one. New layer right at the top. Oh, that's nice. That's nice and crisp. One here too. Let's add one there. Let's add one there. I'll see in a minute what layer effects we can get away with to make these even nicer. That's looking sick. Really pleased with that. Let's see what layer effects we can get away with and see what will add a little bit of color. Maybe overlay is typically the one. Probably a bit too bright. But actually, let's duplicate that and just go Gaussian blur. Let's try that. Oh, hang on. Let's maybe just think about how these attach on, because the Instagram sign was meant to be crooked, but this gap's just annoying me a little bit. And there's no real way of me fixing it other than to go to the actual group and potentially just try and make it bigger. Which is this group here. 1,000. Got no idea why it's doing that. That's fine. I can maybe make it a bit bigger and sit in front. That's annoying. I think the positioning just needs to change. It maybe just needs to sit a bit lower and fill that gap a little better, which is a bit closer to that. This Instagram bit, by the way, is my favorite. Look how sick that looks. Nice in 3D, but it looks so like chromey. It just looks so cool. Let's just try one thing that I've not tried before. And then this is again why you redo things all the time. It's with the lights. Duplicate them, invert them, drag that underneath, say here. Gaussian blur them out a little bit to like 4%, and then just create a little shadow underneath. Yeah, there we go. Little features like that just help just make things come to life a bit more, helps that stand off from the background. And maybe we just lower the opacity down of them a smidge, but otherwise that's why you redo things in the same style over and over again, so you can learn what things from memory tend to work quite well, how you can make things really go to that next level. Only thing here is this collection of stuff here, because they're stacked on top of each other quite a bit. It's a shame that I did it how I did. Like, it almost should be that the bottom half maybe is hidden behind the arrow. I wonder whether or not we could do that. Let's see how we could get this to work. Otherwise, it will stay as it is. You won't say the T word. I can't even catch up with the videos you've already done. Our faddies. We're followers, there we are. Let's select the main shape, which is this one here. Select that. Yeah. Then we'll go back up here. go into Instagram, and the main body of this is actually this part. So what we'll do is we'll tap on it and mask it, which is probably going to do the incorrect thing, which it does. We invert that. Which did actually do the correct thing. And then we mask this as well. Right, okay. And then I need to go in there and manually adjust this so that the... So yeah, in hindsight, I would probably adjust this arrow. It needed way more space. It wasn't in the right spot. Let's do that. Let's go over here, redraw that back in. That arrow. Oh yeah, so I was trying to wrap the two together, but I never actually did the arrow. Okay, that's a waste of time. That was a waste of time. You don't need to know the T word, but it's otherwise what I make on YouTube. It's tutorial. If you say the tutorial word, if you're asking for something to become a tutorial, I'll mute you for 5 minutes. Simply being, it started as a running joke, but now it's probably actually a thing. Michael says, put your Instagram under the Instagram word. That's a 6 shout. 1, because somebody will probably try and pinch it otherwise. Anybody could use this. 2, that's a good shout. Appreciate you, Michael, saying that. Let's add that in there. I'll probably slap my watermark on the top of it anyway. Let's add in here, Joel. Oh, dot create. Oh my god. I think I have a similar-ish font. Let's use that one. Zoom in a second. Joel create. I need to obviously do the same little trick there as well. Maybe we move Instagram down, or like here. The G's the problem. Suggestions don't count, but if you're suggesting that it should be a tutorial, then you might want to go make a cup of tea. It started as a joke, but it became a thing only when we tested it out the other day with Cat, didn't we? If it's people that are regular in here, I'll know what they're referring. I know you'll want it anyway. And most of the time, like I said, all these designs that I do on stream, they're going to be a tutorial at some point anyway. It's just that initial. So they're going to end up as tutorials anyway. So as long as people hold fire, they'll be there. I might just use Futura for this one. Let's just try grabbing Instagram. I wonder if Instagram is actually too big. So like here, it's meant to be big because it follows the actual message of the entire post. But maybe we do this like here on this line. I'm thinking actually we go to, where is it? And then change the kerning, stretch that out a little bit to something a bit like that. That looks kind of cool. Sits on top of the letters. That's a good suggestion, Michael. Let's go in here. Let's go to do the same trick. So we create a new layer, clipping mask it. We select the shape of the text. We invert it. We grab the color. And we fill the layer above so it's the opposite. And then we Gaussian blur that in, which just takes the edge off. Ooh, that's looking good. Like that, like that. Really pleased with that one. Appreciate that, Michael. How long have you been? Have you watched it from the beginning? I'm pretty pleased with it. Pretty pleased. I think it looks pretty sick. I'm very pleased with the Instagram logo, and I don't know if I could do something with that in the future, maybe. The frame around the back looks pretty sick. Could we do something maybe in the background? As like, these are just extra little touches and always something to maybe gamble on. But maybe add some like stars in the background, so not actual star dust, or could we? That was kind of cool. Is that a bit heavy though? Like, is that a little bit too heavy in terms of how many stars are in the background? Because that was quite a big brush for that. Although that is the lightest one out of all of them. I've never used that brush before either. Let's maybe create a new layer. Try this one. See, that one's way too like sort of fantasy style, you know, it doesn't really fit. And this one, not sure about this one either. That kind of looks like, you know, when like I don't know, it's like, I don't know, on telly and stuff, sometimes you'll see like sparkles come down. It's like, literally looks like fire sparks just dropping down on like the background of a show. And if you change that layer effect to something else, like, I don't know. Thought add or overlay would do that, but kind of does, but doesn't give stars, does it? Let's try the stipple collection. I don't know if I want to just leave it super clean and not put that on there. We'll try it though, it's always worth trying. It does look quite nice and clean as it is. I think based on the type of design that this is, I don't think that it ends up looking like stars. It looks really bright on yours as well, by the way. On the stream, it always looks brighter. The camera doesn't pick up the exact same brightness that I'm looking at it on. I just don't think the stars are particularly necessary. I don't know, let's turn that off again. Do you know what? I like it. I like it just like that. Before we go any further, let's just do a big fat J over the top of it. Lower that down to say overlay, but lower, not even overlay. We're not going to do that big. I'm joking. We will put a J here in the corner. As a nice, actually let's put it in a more prominent place. Let's put it like here. There's the Joel Create J, water stamp on there. Let's maybe just duplicate that and put another one somewhere else, because I know that this is going to get pinched and taken. I'll just put one there for a second. Otherwise, that looks pretty sick. Again, I'll say tell you what you could do is actually the backgrounds is pinch all the glows together and then just gauge and blur them out a little bit so that they just soften out towards the edges. Am I on the wrong layer? Yeah. Get down to this orb of colors, gauge and blur that out, and just try and spread them out. They'll all start to diffuse those, so you need to sort of balance the blurring out. About 24 will do. Softens it out quite a bit. What font is your J for your logo? Oh, I have no idea. I cannot remember for the life of me. Good question. Anyway, I'm going to pinch with 2 fingers, go full screen with 4, and we end up with today's finished design. So I'm pretty pleased with how that turned out. Looks pretty sweet. Nice little something I can pop on Instagram later, probably tomorrow. And that's it. I'm going to probably wrap it up there, guys, to be honest with you. There's a new tutorial coming Friday, of course, as always, and that tutorial is retro based. It's a retro TV design. If you were here last week, you would have seen it because I'd already done it on stream last week. So keep an eye out for that retro TV design. There's going to be next week on Patreon, there is a really cool 2-in-1 style design in terms of there's a 2-in-1 portrait style, abstract portrait. So keep an eye out for that one. It's going to be a cool one. There's a lot you could do with the technique that I'm going to teach you. So there's a lot that you can use in the future for creating portraits potentially. If that particular style is someone's vibe. So and next week it's going to be a very simple design on YouTube. Like I mentioned, I will need to balance out the content all the time between long tutorials and skill-based stuff, and then stuff that's also going to be a little bit quicker. So just a nice balancing act between everything that we have to keep doing from time to time. Otherwise, have a lovely rest of your day wherever you are in the world. Have a lovely morning, evening, afternoon, and thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you again next week. When are you going to do that picture frame idea? Picture frame idea? What's the picture frame idea? What's the picture frame idea? I don't remember. Yeah, that one with your dad. Oh, I'm probably not going to do that one. No, I'm probably not going to do that one. It's a good idea, but it's not a lot really. It's an alright idea. It's not really a lot to it. There's nothing I can really do in it that would take it to like another level that I'd be really, like, oh wow, that's a sick tutorial. That's something I would want to do, sort of thing. So yeah, I'm going to wrap it up. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are in the world. Thanks for hanging out. We do these live streams every Wednesday, so if you're new here, come and hang out with us. Otherwise, have a lovely rest of your week as well. Thanks, Michael. I appreciate the congratulations as well. Have a lovely weekend, folks, and I'll see you next week.